Okay, so let's switch things up a little. Instead of straightly going to Minorikawa, trying to solve Kano's route, let's see what Osawa is doing. At 4:10. I don't want to know how people feel. All I want to know is what viruses feel. I prefer viruses, because they make no move to encroach on me from the other side of my microscope. They leave me free to let my thoughts wander as I wish. And while it may be true to say I understand viruses, I have never been able to understand my fellow humans. I don't know them. I don't know a single fundamental thing about them. Damn it, Osawa, you're highly autistic, right? That's his problem. He's just too focused on what he's good at. He's not it's not autism, it's called savant, right? When you really hyper focused on some skills but lack social skills and stuff. Look it up. It's really interesting. There are people that can, for example, paint a cityscape out of memory, a really big one, and all that incredible stuff. Of course, the people that are able to solve equations that you need supercomputers for, and all the crazy stuff. It's really fucking crazy how humans can do that. With Tanaka dead, trying to use the backup passwords for the fingerprint scanner had become a hopeless endeavor. We should really stop talking about autism. The only remaining means of gaining entry to the storage area was to issue an emergency unlock request to the electronic lock manufacturer. And in order to do that, they needed approval from the 6 members of the board of directors. Well, they could just tell them that Shibuya is about to die. All of Shibuya, basically. Returning to his study, Osawa called Makino's personal cell phone. "What is it?" Makino said gruffly as soon as he picked up. Osawa informed him of the situation, including Tanaka's death, and the fact that Maria was infected. The news left Makino at a loss for words. Please, Osawa begged. "You need to hold an emergency board meeting." Makino was silent for a few moments. "I'm afraid I can't do that." "Why not? Are you just going to sit by and let my daughter die?" Osawa raged. "And not just her. If Maria goes symptomatic." If Maria goes symptomatic. That was still only an if, but Osawa was reluctant to put his fears into words. "If she goes symptomatic, the Eurovirus will sweep through all of Tokyo." "I realize that," Makino replied, "but one of the board members is overseas on business. Holding a meeting is impossible." Despite the gravity of the situation, he sounded astoundingly nonchalant. Osawa couldn't back down now. "There must be some other option, like a web conference or something." "That doesn't help us if we can't get in touch with him," Makino huffed. "He went missing a few days ago in the middle of his business trip." The head of Okoshi Pharmaceutical New York's branch has been missing since April 25th, 9 p.m. local time. There have been no demands for a ransom, and so the New York Police Department is investigating the possibility of some other form of foul play. Do you think that maybe the crime syndicate prepared for that and kidnapped him as well? Maybe? Osawa was almost too appalled to be angry. "It's the most ridiculous lie I've ever heard. Would you like to speak to my on-site contact if you don't believe me?" This was like arguing with a child. If Makino was deliberately working against him, he'd never know if this disappearance was real or not. "In that case, can you please appoint a representative in his stead?" Osawa pleaded. "Selecting a representative is a complicated process. Even if we started right now, it would take until sometime tomorrow afternoon to complete." Tomorrow afternoon? By then it would be too late for any of this to matter. "Sir, can't you see how absurd the things you're saying are?" "What would you have me do?" Makino barked. "These are the realities of corporate politics." "I understand, sir. You will do nothing for my daughter. That's what you're saying." "That's not what I'm saying," Makino replied. "Look, I'll see what I can do to appoint a representative more quickly." He hung up. God damn it, Osawa, just go out there and be a Batman or something, I don't know. You're a scientist after all. His tone had suggested that waiting for an appointee wouldn't be a terribly hopeful prospect. "I have no more allies," Osawa thought. "You have Kachiwara, actually. All I have left now are foes. He couldn't count on anyone anymore. Osawa was just going to have to get the antiviral by himself. Still, he'd just have to take Makino at his word. Right now, that was his only course of action. No, Makino isn't his ally. He has Kajiwara though. Kajiwara can help you, seriously. Couldn't count on anyone anymore. Nope. Let's do it by himself. Tanaka might be dead, but there still must be some way to get that lock open. Taking extra care to avoid the notice of the detectives, Osawa snuck out of the house and headed for the garage. However you want to pronounce it. Oh my god, keep out this early, really? Game? Seriously? So guess we won't continue with Osawa for now. Let's do Achi then. Let's do Achi. Who sounds like you're sneezing. Inside the van. Achi could hear ambulance and police sirens waiting on the main road. He looked down at Hitomi slumped on a park bench beside him. So somehow Stanley got to him? To them? I don't know. "You're sure you're not hurt?" he asked quietly, offering her a bottle of water. "I'm okay." Hitomi took a sip from the bottle. "Thanks. I think I've managed to calm down some." Some of the color had finally returned to her face. "So, Achi began hesitantly, inside that minivan." Maria wasn't in there. There was relief in her voice, but also a note of pathos. Oh my god, yes, of course, she knew Tanaka. I got a look in through the windshield. There was a man laid out in the back seat, but nobody else. The dark cloud lifted from Achi's face. "So it wasn't your sister?" "No, I didn't see his face. Oh, thank god. Just that he was wearing a business suit." Achi felt the tension ebbing from his body. "That's good then, that it wasn't her. I'd been worried." It was a shame about the poor devil who had been killed, though. Who was it, and why had he been there? Oh god, actually, if she realizes that it was Tanaka because we're giving the name to the press, maybe that's not so good after all. So, I guess we're out of leads. It's here. Okay, whatever, Hitomi murmured. She hung her head. "We could try the surveillance center again for now," Achi said. "It'll probably give us better odds of finding a sister than just walking around." "I guess you're right. Shall we then?" Hold on. Achi had a sudden flash of inspiration. "My house is a lot closer from here. Maybe I should ask my dad if we can check the cameras from home." "You can do that?" "We have the same system at our house. I'm sure my dad will let us use them." That's really scary. The two got up and headed for Endo Electronics. Just imagine Achi in charge of surveying Shibuya. Achi decided to let his father know they were coming. He turned on his phone as they walked along. He'd had it off for a while, so first he checked his voicemail. There was one message. Wondering who might have called, he played it back. Who is it? Is this Achi Endo's personal cell phone? "This is Dr. Saiki from Shibuya Central Hospital." Seiichi Saiki, heart specialist and Suzune's attending physician, a preeminent surgeon who has successfully performed the Batista procedure, wherein the left ventricle is reconstructed after a third of it has been removed. Sounds nice, I don't know. Achi's expression stiffened. He pressed the phone closer to his ear. "There's been a sudden change in Suzune's condition. I tried calling her home as well, but got no answer." Achi felt the edges of his vision growing dim. "As a brother, it would be good if you can come to the hospital as soon as possible. It's..." "Achi?" Hitomi's voice was full of concern. "Sorry, I just gotta make a call here." Fingers trembling, Achi dialed his house. "Damn it, Achi, she's not more important than your fucking sister. Just go there." The phone rang several times before switching over to the answering machine. "Damn it, where the hell are you, Dad?" "What's wrong?" Hitomi asked. "It's Suzune. It sounds like things have gotten pretty bad." "Well, then we need to get to the hospital right away," Hitomi said. She sounded as anxious as Achi was. I guess she can understand being scared for the sake of a sister. "We can't go yet." Achi shook his head quietly. "First we have to save your sister." Hitomi bristled angrily at that. What are you talking about? She grabbed Achi by the arm and shook him. Right now you need to be thinking about your sister. I can't. I made a promise to Susune. I promised to help people and see things through to the end when something important is on the line. He struggled to get the words out. If I break that promise, then I really am no good to her. But Hitomi didn't look like she was going to back down. Oi, get back here! A threatening shout rang out from nearby. Achi looked around, startled, and saw a boy about high school age bolting out from behind a building on a side street. Several slightly older young men were hot on his heels. Achi knew their faces all too well. They were all members of SOS. They caught the quarry just before he could make it out onto the main road. Hey, gotcha, newbie! So the kid they were after must have been a member too. Let me go! Oh, we'll let you go, alright? After you pay up. One of the young men snatched the boy by the collar and shoved him against the wall of a nearby building. Ow! The boy's face scrunched up. What are you talking about? Plain dumber, interjected one of the onlookers. They're all just gonna get the same voice if that's alright with you, because they can't fucking bother giving all of them a distinct voice. We told you that members all have to pay monthly dues, yeah? The privilege of getting to call yourself SOS don't come free after all. I don't know why the American Italian. Achi felt his blood boil. SOS was trying to pull a shakedown on this new kid under the guise of calling it dues. Slang for extortion, a full-fledged crime. Naturally, the direct shakedown, give me all your money, punk, is quite unpleasant, but more roundabout ways of being shaken down can still leave a bad taste in one's mouth. Someone who was surrounded on the street by 8 people in pompadours who said, begging your pardon, but could you please hand over your money, might suffer no physical harm, but would still be the victim of a shakedown. It would have been unthinkable for them to do something like this back when Achi was running the show. Hey, he barked, let the kid go. He marched towards the group. Say what now? They turned to look, their faces immediately going pale. Oh, hey, Achi! Let him go! Achi focused his glare on the fellow holding the kid until he released his grip. You guys always go around doing stuff like this. None of the gang members answered. They merely turned their gazes glumly to the ground. Hey, Achi turned to the younger boy. Since when have they been doing this? But of course he realized there was no way the newbie would be able to tell him. Never mind, you can go, Achi gestured towards the main road. The boy was quick to run off. Achi waited until the boy was gone before turning back to the others. Does Suzume know you're going around collecting dues like this? He asked. Man, we don't got to tell you that, one of them muttered. Not since you deserted. What did you just say? Achi leaned in close, getting right in the guy's face. He was met with a defiant sneer. This ain't the Oh, wait, who's saying this? This ain't the old SOS anymore. Not the old SOS? Achi fought back to the other gang member he'd run into earlier, with the malicious gleam in his eyes. Yeah, right, it's not the old SOS. That guy, pretty sure he said his name was Kiryu? Back when Achi had been with SOS, he'd never have let a guy like that get away with acting all high and mighty. Suddenly Achi heard a voice from behind him. Well, if it ain't our legendary founder. I guess this is Suzumu. No? An instant later he took a hard blow to the side of the head. Where the fuck is Hitomi warning him from a threat from behind? Seriously, how... Hitomi, you're fucking useless. Hey, I was just out looking for some small fry, but looks like I landed me a big one. Ouch. Achi's head swam, his vision fading in and out. Before he had a chance to recover, something smashed into his knee. Ouch. Oh god damn it, what? He lay crumpled on the ground, unable to retaliate as kicks and punches rained down on him. Even after Achi could no longer move, the beating didn't stop. His ruptured eardrums could barely make out the sound of Hitomi screaming. You should have screamed earlier! Useless fuck. Sorry, Hitomi, I'm really angry at you. I don't think it is actually your fault. Hitomi, run! How many times does Achi die in this? Seriously, I think he's the protagonist that dies the most. With his final plea silenced before it reached his lips, Achi felt his consciousness battered away. Not even fading away, it's battered away. No, not a bad end. Do we have some time to start one more story here. Kiryu's ambush. Kiryu turned up out of nowhere and gave Achi a beatdown with a piece of timber. But just before he attacked Achi, Kiryu had run into someone else. That person said something that changed what Kiryu did. The individual in question needs to say something different to ensure Kiryu doesn't go to Dokensaka while Achi and Hitomi are there. Minorikawa question mark? So, who do we start with now? Just a quick one. I don't have much time left for this episode, I think, but maybe a little bit. Maybe, let's see. Yeah, sure. No, actually, I don't know. This should be a quick one, right? Taken by the man with the cane? Or Toyama's suicide? Oh my god, of course, Toyama's suicide. I remember now. Let's do Maria real quick. I mean, I'd love to, actually. If I could. Do her real quick. Anytime I want. I walk counter to the throng of people heading towards the scene of the explosion. The explosion happened in Shibuya, Ku, Jinan, Wanchome, near the intersection of Koendori and Organ Hill. Okay. There's a gun pressed against my back, leaving me no choice but to continue marching forward. I don't have time for this right now. There's something I need to do. My frantic sense of urgency grows and grows. Kanan. The only clue I have is that name. The other hazy snippets that have surfaced in my memory provide no answers. Please, just tell me, I murmur. Do you know who I am? When the man with the cane doesn't answer, I stop in my tracks. Fucking shoot me then, you asshole. I'm going to start shouting, I warn him. If you want to find out who you are, then do as I say. The barrel of the gun jabs more forcefully into my back. Once we find Hitomi Osawa, you'll remember, whether you like it or not. Guess I have no choice but to keep moving then. Are your memories really that precious to you? The man mutters as we start to move again. I'm taken aback by the question. Well, yes. I mean, isn't that pretty normal? There's a bit of a pause before he replies, his voice sad and distant. We're not going to remember just the good times, you know? What do you mean? I mean that sad and painful memories are going to resurface too. I guess I hadn't really thought about that. Damn, look at her. No, I won't say it, but look at her backside. Still, whatever kind of memories they are, they're all a part of me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone. I should really stop fawning over Maria. I'm the person I am now because of the sorrow and pain too. I want to remember. I want to remember who I am. The gunman directs me dispassionately along a series of quiet side streets. Right here. I stop at his words. In front of us is an old multi-tenant office building. We ride the elevator to the 8th floor, then use the emergency exit to take the stairs up to the rooftop. Okay, so far so good. Everything the same as it was with Kano, I guess. A cool breeze blows across my cheek. Sit down here. I do as he says, settling myself in the outdoor air conditioning unit. The man lowers his gun but keeps it in hand. We'll wait here for a bit. For how long? He lets out a rueful chuckle. Guess we'll have to wait and see. I decide there's no point in trying to fight with him. For now, I have to hope he's telling the truth and whatever's coming will help me get my memories back. If I don't know my past, how can I know what to do about this canal stuff, or anything else? I stare up at the sky as I wait for whatever this assassin is waiting for. The silence between us is suffocating. Finally, I can't take it any longer. Hey, so I think this is yours. I hold out the notebook I picked up earlier. Oh yeah, sure. The man's surprise is plain on his face. Why did you get that? I saw the picture inside. He snatches the book out of my hand. Then he flips through it, looking sad. I'm afraid that another agonizing silence is about to descend when he speaks at last. This is a picture of me and my childhood friends. His voice is low and quiet. Who is it? We were inseparable back when we were kids. The boy here, he liked to fiddle with machines, always doing things like taking apart radios and whatnot and putting them back together. Is his name fucking Endo? He was a total bookworm too, so he got picked on a lot. But I was always there to save him from the bullies. All of a sudden the guy's in a sharing mood, I guess. I could feel his aura of murderous rage starting to abate. The girl here was the same age as us, but she felt more like a big sister. Whatever stupid things my other friend and I got up to, She was always willing to laugh it off. Is she the owner of the cafe we went to earlier with Achi? I decided to stay quiet and keep listening. What was her name? I asked, curious to know more. So, was this some sort of love triangle? Well, okay then, guess I'm the noisy sort. Was this some sort of love triangle? Well, okay then, guess I'm the nosy sort. The man grimaces but nods. Oh! Well, she was a cutie. When we were in high school, she told me that she liked me, so the two of us started dating. And what about the other boy? I ask. The man casts his eyes down but doesn't answer. He was in love with her too, wasn't he? Oh, it's her speaking, I guess. He was in love with her too, wasn't he? I wound up breaking up with the girl, and he was furious with me for it. What? The man carefully slips the notebook into the pocket inside his jacket. I'm incapable of making other people happy. Why's that? Because that's the sort of person I am. Man, wouldn't it be fucking funny if Yanagishita just walks in on them now suddenly? Hey, Tama! He lets out a little chuckle, then stands up and brushes the dust off his pants. He looks strangely lonely. You don't say, Maria. Just told you about... Oh my god, okay. Well, that's actually perfect timing, I think. Another keep out. So we get a little bit of backstory about Detective Tateno. He is a sad person with childhood friends. And he at least had a girlfriend once in his life, so... I guess he's not as sad and lonely as he could be. Anyway, next time we continue with someone else. I don't know who yet. Most likely Minorikawa though. Yeah, bye.